Okay, we're going to get started in a minute. Okay, all right. Good evening. Today is Wednesday, May 20th, 2026 at 6 p.m. We are on the Brecksville-Bobby Heights Board of Education, 6638 Mill Road, Brecksville, Ohio. This meeting is a meeting of the Board of Education in public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. Public participation is governed by Board Bylaw 0169.1, public participation at board meetings. This meeting will be live streamed via YouTube and will also be recorded for later viewing. Please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel where all recordings are posted. Item 1B, please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item 1C, roll call.
Mr. Chase?
Yes.
Mrs. Gaelick?
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski?
Yes.
Ms. O'Meara?
Yes.
Mr. Dosen?
Yes. Item 2A, President's announcements. I have none. Item 2B.
Hold on. Consent agenda. Sorry. I clicked the wrong button.
2B is notice of consent agenda. Do any board members wish to remove any items from the consent agenda? There we go. No. Moving on to item 3, board areas of responsibility, co-curricular, extracurricular, Lisa and Tish.
So, for extracurricular this month, Team 2011 Robotics has been recognized by Education Insider Magazine as the top robotics program and summer camps provider in 2026. So congratulations to them. Congratulations also to boys tennis. They won the Suburban League title this season. For softball, senior Rowan Weber continues to make history with an outstanding career, reaching 40 home runs and 125 hits. The final edition of the High Breeze for the school year is now available. I know they come out every month and this is the last one, their senior issue. The students always do a really great job on it. I love reading the articles. So I would encourage everyone to go on there and read those. And this isn't 100% extracurricular, but it ties in with it. I just want to let people know that the Kick It campaign at the middle school is happening right now. It's the 17th year. And for those that don't know, Kick It is our kind of school charity and school event that we do every year at the middle school to raise money for pediatric cancer. It's really nice. The kids get involved. They make little crafts that they can sell. They can do all kinds of different things to help raise money. And then on June 1st, they're going to have Kick It Day where they'll have food trucks and all kinds of events and fun things for the kids to do just to raise more money and awareness for pediatric cancer. This year's theme is Be the Sunshine After the Storm, which is inspired by Opalite by Taylor Swift. So I think that was popular. Cool. And this is a really exciting year because the district hopes to surpass $500,000 in donations total in all the 17 years we've been doing Kick It. So, good luck to them. I'm sure that they'll achieve their goal, and it's a really worthwhile program. And it's nice to see our kids be involved in something like that every year. Was there anything else I missed? No. Okay. And thanks to Mr. Jacob for putting all this stuff in the high school news and notes every week, because I just copied his information because he knows everything. He's helpful. It helps. Oh yeah.
Very good. Curriculum, Tish.
Yes, I'll extend my thanks to Dr. Martin outright for this update for curriculum. The Ohio State tests and of course data for our science, math, and social studies tested areas were released last week. ELA, English Language Arts, was released today. So there will be more to come at next month's board meeting as they sift through that data and interpret it. We will have more to come next month. There was a successful Title I family engagement activity that was hosted on May 11th. Featuring local author Katie Mazika and engaging approximately 136 K-5 students and 40 parents. So it sounds like that was a great event. The K-2 report card committee finalized all assessment maps that are going to feed into gradebook, advancing the report card revision process. So if you've been following this, we've been updating about the K-2 report card, new report card that we're hoping to roll out. Initial training for our new science curriculum for K-5 was completed for all of our K-5 science teachers. That curriculum is called Bring Science Alive. So they have all been trained to get that off the ground. Dr. Martin, Scott Kinkoff, and Beth Adams attended a vendor program to review the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce approved math assessments, as the current K-3 diagnostic that we use, iReady, is not included on the state's list. So we're going to need to make changes eventually. There may be a year's reprieve. However, districts are still waiting for the final decision on Senate Bill 19, which will finalize those assessments, correct? Okay. All middle school ELA staff received personalized coaching to plan their first units with our new ELA curriculum, which is Amplify 6 to 8. We've been talking about that for a few months. And then through personalized professional learning plant here in the district, our teachers, new learning sessions are being approved for teachers to collaborate and continue their professional learning over the summer. Plans are being finalized for all in-district professional learning next year during our 2 days in August and half days in October and March. So what's cool about that is that they're going to have all their professional learning laid out really for next year before we start in August. So teachers will know what you guys are going to be taking over during the year. That's just amazing because a lot of districts are waiting until the end to figure out what they're doing, or a couple of weeks before. But we're very forward thinking here. So kudos to our curriculum department and our team staff. That's it for curriculum.
Okay, Cuyahoga Valley Career Center. I did reach out to Rachel. She was unable to attend this evening, but she did give me a few updates to pass along. She said, just wanted to note that the construction trades building is officially open and in use. This should help add additional construction trade seats for our BBH students next year. BBH students have made us proud yet again. We had 5 BBH students receive the Outstanding Senior Award in their programs, an award only given to 1 student in each program. This Thursday evening at our board meeting, we will be recognizing a great amount of BBH students who either received scholarships and/or placed at regional, state, or even national level career tech competitions throughout the year. I am so proud of our students yet again, wishing everyone the best wrapping up this year. That was from Rachel. Moving on for finance, myself. We had a very successful audit. Kudos to Craig and his staff. So we're all good until next year, right?
That's right. It'll be in about a month.
Yeah.
Start all over again.
Right.
The page turns. Okay, legislative OSBA liaison, Brad.
Yep, just 2 quick updates. One is that House Bill 420 had its 3rd hearing in the Ways and Means Committee, and that's basically this bill would eliminate continuous levies, which is what we're operating on here in Brecksville, Broadview Heights. I want to thank Craig for providing some opponent testimony. So there were 27 parties that submitted testimony in opposition to this legislation, and it's still moving forward and going around, but it's something that we need to watch as a district because it definitely impacts how we are currently funded and how our levies are structured here. The second thing is just to the fellow board members, there are a number of OSBA webinars. There aren't really in-person things coming up, but OSBA itself is tracking 266 97 pieces of introduced legislation. So if you want to get more involved in any of those, it's hard to tell when some of that will move, what actually is going to get out of committee. But there's a lot of interest in education things. So this summer, there aren't a lot of in-person trainings or other things coming up, but there are a number of videos that they've posted and some webinars that they have online that are interesting, I think, and it might be of interest to you. So that's the legislative and OSB update. Thank you.
Okay.
Ask one question. Craig, you sent that opponent testimony. Do we know what will be like the next opportunity for either board members or community members to reach out about our thoughts on House Bill 420?
Well, I guess the next opportunity, as long as they don't open it up for more opponent or proponent testimony, would be if it gets voted out of the House and Ways and Means Committee or House Ways and Means Committee. If it gets voted out of there, then it would go to the actual, it would go to another committee, I think, actually, or it goes to the full House. Those would also have opportunities to provide opponent testimony to a House bill. If it passes there, then it would go to the Senate, of course, if it would move down that direction. There is rumors that the Senate side of this does not want to talk about it, which is good for us, but we still just don't know. So we're just kind of monitoring it.
Thank you.
There was also a hearing for a Vouchers Heard Ohio lawsuit on May the 12th, where it became apparent upon being questioned that the legislators simply did not understand what it was that they were asking to do, or they were being underhanded. Regardless, there was no defense whatsoever for what it is that they're trying to do. And that was good.
Okay, moving on to permanent improvements facilities, Brad and myself. Thing to comment?
Just that item 9 on the agenda tonight is approval of a contract for some of the repaving work on this campus that we reviewed last month at last month's board meeting. Then if you look outside, obviously you can see a lot going on already with the driveway project behind us here. In addition, the tennis court nets have been taken down and that project has started to move along as well. And that you and I will be at some point in June walking the campuses and looking at the permanent improvement plans going forward at the list of projects for the coming years.
On the new access road from the Hilton Drive, is there any status update on in terms of how we're progressing? Are we tracking to schedule or?
They're moving a lot of dirt, that's for sure.
Okay.
Every day I leave in my white truck, it isn't quite as white as when I got here in the morning. But they're doing great work and they're on pace to hit that substantially completion date of August 1st. But just one comment to the contractor and the civil engineer, our friends at Chippewa Hills HOA are keeping a close eye on the project, which I thank them for, because, you know, when we went into this project, it was a goal of ours to be good neighbors and make sure that we remedy some of the things that were happening to their property from runoff. The plunge pool that was installed had a little bit of an issue and our friends at the HOA sent us video and they were on top of it and we got it taken care of pretty quickly. Both the construction team and the engineering team were out and took care of it. So things are moving in the right direction, but it's nice you can actually start to see the road come alive right now and see where it's going to track. And we're excited. We're excited to see how it goes.
Great, thanks. PSO, Lisa.
It's the end of the year and our PSO is involved with supporting a lot of different things going on. So I won't mention everything that's happening, but I will say thank you to PSO for providing snacks and treats and all kinds of things during Teacher Appreciation Week, which was May 4th through 8th. I kept seeing all the photos on social media. Everyone had really amazing spreads all week for the teachers, like different treats and snacks and lunches. And I'll just call out the elementary school because they did like a Harry Potter themed week. So it was like a herbology salad bar and like a Honeydukes candy bar and all these very cool things. It was amazing the way it was decorated. So thank you to their chairs. And I was at the elementary PSO meeting when students, kindergartners came in and dropped off. It must have been at least 100 thank you cards from the staff and students for teacher appreciation. So I know that those things are really appreciated by our staff. Each of the PSO units also awarded a friend of the PSO. That's an award that recognizes individuals who go above and beyond in support of the PSO parents and students. This year's recipients were Mr. Roderick, who's a teacher at the high school, Officer Garcia, who's our resource officer at the middle school, and Mr. Hartland, who is our assistant principal at the elementary school at the primary level, and he's retiring at the end of the year. So thank you to all of them for all the work they do to support the PSO. And I also want to say thank you to everyone who served on the PSO in this past year. The previous executive boards and committee chairs are transitioning off and the new ones are coming on. Without the support of our parents, we can't do all these wonderful things. So thank you to everyone who served last year and everyone who's ready to step up. And especially thank you to this previous year's PSO presidents for their service and dedication. So Mary Green, who's the president of PSO Council, Ann Kepke and Joni McRailed, who are presidents at the high school, Sarah Blaine and Petra Laszlo, who are presidents of the middle school, and Melanie Farrell and Amy Kuzier, who are presidents at the elementary school. And I'm pretty sure everyone but two of them is staying on to be presidents or some other capacity. So they're not going anywhere. They're just shifting positions every couple years to do something else and to help our district even more. So, and then PSO kind of takes a break for the summer and we'll be back in the fall. So thanks.
Great, thanks. Safety, Lisa and Ava.
Nothing that I am aware of. We are safe.
We are.
Solid update, thanks. Pools Foundation, Tish.
Yeah, really just one item on this for this month for the Schools Foundation. They got to hand out 61 scholarships at senior awards night last night. So it's a very exciting time for them because it's a huge piece of what the Schools Foundation does is provide dollars for our students in their next step as they graduate and leave us. So there'll be more updates about the other arm of what they do, which is the teacher grants coming up in the next few months. So that's it. Yeah.
Great. Sustainability, Brad and Ava.
I had spoken with Kathy Roderick. She's kind of the champion of the sustainability movement amongst the staff members. And I'm thinking that most of the initiatives that she is beginning at the middle school will eventually waft their way into the high school and be modified to the extent that the elementary school can also do that. New bins have arrived. There is signage that's going up at the middle school. I suspect that the same is happening at the elementary school when there's time permitting. But I can tell you there are at least weekly collections of the paper goods, and that's pretty much going on the calendar and being done every single week. There are some different definitions that Waste Management is using in terms of acceptable use. So I know that there are a number of things that had to be done to make sure that we comply with what those new initiatives will be. In addition to that, Waste Management is able and willing to put on educational experiences during lunchtime for the students to teach about the importance of sustainability and all the things that need to happen in order for us to be sustainable. And it's one of those things that you're either passionate about or not. I think you come to that position eventually, especially those of you that have children, that, we need to make sure that the earth that we are presenting to our students and our kids is one that they want to continue to love and to sustain and to show care for. And the only way that that's going to happen is through education. So we continue to work on all of those things. One of the exciting things also that at the middle school is happening is that they're having share bins where those items that have not been opened, that have not been eaten, are put together in a particular receptacle, and students who are still hungry, students that would like to avail themselves of additional food, can go to these share bins and use that. And that's, I think, an exciting opportunity that also can happen at all three levels, depending on what needs to be done. So it's exciting. We're continuing. It's a slog, to say the least, but everybody's, I think, getting on board. But again, it's a process.
Okay, thanks. Transportation, myself, all continues to be quiet on transportation. Moving on to item 4, Superintendent's Communications. I'll turn it over to Jeff.
Awesome, thank you. I wanted to comment because I know when we started doing these areas of responsibility, I didn't realize it would take my workload at a board meeting way down. But I want to point out the fact that our Board of Education, all 5 members are actively involved in our district at all levels. And that's not always normal. That's not always the case in all districts, but I, as an employee of the district, speaking for many other employees of the district, we appreciate the Board of Education that understands what we do every day, the good, the bad, and the ugly that come with any job, especially when you deal with the amount of people that we deal with. So thank you for being involved and being educated. Just a couple of quick things I'd like to add to some of those updates that you had. Tish, you talked about the curriculum adoptions, and it was a big part of our last strategic plan, talking about when we do adoptions, we need to do them right. And it struck me again this year when I was at the I forget which one at this point in time was. It may have been science or it was another media that's going on. And we had a individual that we've hired to work for us next year at the training. That doesn't happen.
Right.
And the fact that we're that far ahead on our adoptions means that we're that far ahead of ordering our materials, meaning that we're that far ahead of professional development goes along with it. And that's what makes our district special. And that's what allows our teachers in the classroom to excel. They don't have to come in day one wondering what materials they're going to have. When is the training going to be? And I'm going to be 2-3 weeks into the school year teaching the material before I have the PD. So Dr. Martin, Scott Kingoff, the department and 2 men do a great job in organizing that, and our teachers as well, because they helped drive that process and that change that we made in our district a few years ago. And that was instituting the building level professional development team and then the district level professional development team. So as a district, with teachers included, admin, and everything in between, our professional development, professional learning has just hit a whole new level. So it's exciting to see. So thanks to all that are involved with that. It's definitely an exciting time. I mean, last night was a little long, but it's a great long, meaning 2 hours, a little over 2 hours, 2.5 hours in auditorium, hearing all the wonderful things that our current class of 2026 have done and accomplished. Always a great night. Saturday, by far, is the best day of the year. It'll be my 26th graduation in my professional career. And that's where we get to see the product that we've put so many years and so much effort into, and to watch those students across that stage is pretty special. I'm glad we haven't fell into peer pressure and started doing our ceremony in a stadium, because Medina, what's near and dear to me where I live, they had to move theirs up a day to avoid rain. And I can only imagine the logistics that had to go into that. I'm sure Mr. Jacob will be in a cold sweat over there if we were going outside with the rain. So it is kind of nice. We're inside. We don't have to worry about the environmental issues that are coming, but we're excited for Saturday. And speaking of Mr. Jacob and the high school team, I am a little biased being a former high school principal, but the amount of energy and effort that goes into these big events at the end of the year, and making sure you get every single name right and you get it spelled correctly and you don't miss anything. It's a lot of pressure that all of our support staff pours into it, and just know that it's not, it doesn't go unnoticed. So thanks for the quality product that they turn out for our families and our students.
Absolutely.
I also had an opportunity this week, Monday night, to visit with a club in town, the Moms Club or Moms Preschool Club. I'm not sure the correct title, but they've been around since 1934.
38.
Oh, 28. Well, a long time. 38.
Yeah.
38.
And it's the Preschool Mothers Club.
Preschool Mothers Club. All I know is that they're feeling like I got done with a workout after 2 hours.
I bet.
There was roughly 30 people in attendance, and they were peppering me with questions from every direction, but it was pure passion and support of our school district, which is awesome. And it's something we hope to make kind of an annual thing, but they are a group of individuals that love our district, want nothing but the best for our district, and expect the best. So it was great to meet with them. On that front, tomorrow is Craig and I's last coffee chat of the year. As every Thursday after a board meeting, we post up at Panera from 9 to 10. Usually it ends up being 9 to 11, just to chat with community members and fill them in on all the good stuff going on in the district and all the legislation that Mr. Chase was speaking about as well. One last thing that I'll talk about is, I almost want to knock on when I say this, Mr. Wyckoff will probably run from the room. But I think after tonight's board meeting, we are fully staffed next year on the teaching side, on the certified side. It has been a great hiring season. We have hired some outstanding individuals. We have a few in the room this evening that you get to meet. But it is amazing. We have a job posting And I talked to other of my friends and colleagues, other superintendents, and they'll talk about getting 12 or 15, and we get 150. You know, and we go through a pretty intensive process to find the best, and we want the best for our students and our community. So, you know, it's nice kind of a take a deep breath and hope no one decides to retire at the last moment. But other than that, we will be fully staffed on the certified side and looking forward to that. So I could go on for a long time, but we have some students in the room that I can't wait to hear from and some staff members. So with that, I'm going to introduce Mrs. Colleen Toth to kind of let us know what we're going to hear tonight.
She was not.
Hi. So back in October, I thought it was a great idea to do a year in review. So I signed up for May, not knowing that my son is graduating tomorrow at a stadium outside. So I'm here, but instead of me presenting to you, I brought the people that are doing the work every single day. I brought some students. I wish I could have filled the entire room with our students. I didn't think there were 800 seats in here. I brought a teacher representative. I brought a special education teacher. I brought counselors and behavior coaches to kind of just share some of the wonderful things that have been going on in our entire building throughout BBHCS. So the first thing, can you flip it to the next slide? There we go. So instead of the entire year in review, I thought we might be here a little too long. I figured let's just highlight some of our student spotlights, some of our awards, an special award that we received this year, and some resources that we're providing to our families, as well as some highlights of inclusiveness and our neurodiversity month. So first of all, I just want to give a huge shout out to our teaching staff. Every single day, our teachers come in and they create such meaningful lessons for our students. And I brought a teacher here with some of her students who are going to share year 2 of CKLA. So year 1, they did it. There were some tears, but they did it. They worked together, they collaborated, and they have really grown as a team. So year 2 is night and day. I am in PLCs every single week with our teachers, and they are coming with ideas to bring the curriculum alive. They did it 1 year already, and now they're able to take even new curriculum like the Writing Revolution and embed it into CKLA and make those knowledge lessons even better. So I'm going to start with introducing Miss Noodle, who has brought some special guests and literally brought the curriculum alive by bringing some of our wax museum experts.
So like Colleen said, this year has been very different, so that like we got our feet wet with last year in CKLA, and then these kids were lucky enough to be in my class this year. We really did bring the curriculum to life. So we get to learn about a lot of different topics in 2nd grade. We learned about the War of 1812, westward expansion. We learn about Civil War. So not typical 2nd grade topics, but we do learn about a lot of really important people in history. And so as we got to the end of the year, we had learned about so many different important people, and the kids were ready to do some research of their own. So they all got to research one of these influential people. And then they did the research, they wrote a biography. Their biography even included a poem and a timeline. And they just ran with this project. It was, as a teacher, like, it was amazing. And then they wrote a speech and they practiced their speech as if they were the famous person. So they gave their speech from the point of view of that famous person. They worked tirelessly. And then when we got to the end of the project last week, we had all the families come in to come to our living wax museum. And I can't say enough words about how proud these kids, I have 2 of them here with me today, but they all told me that they wanted to do it again as soon as they were done. They wanted to do it again, and how much fun they had. I think Dorothy's exact words to me at the end of the day Friday was thank you so much for letting us do this. So tonight I have a couple of very famous people here with me to share their presentation. So who wants to go first? You want to go first? All right. Okay, so this is Dorothy. Dorothy, I'm going to come stand right over here. But actually, this is not Dorothy. This is Dolores Huerta. All right, hold your sign up. Okay, and we don't have your button, but.
Hello, my name is Dolores Huerta. I can't wait to tell you about my life. I was born on April 10th in New Mexico, 1930. During my life, I was an important activist. I helped farm workers and members of the Chicano community. I led many strikes and boycotts, such as the Great Boycott. I have helped make life more fair for farm workers. I moved to California, where I still live today. I'm inspirational and big. Thank you for your attention during my speech.
Then I have, this is Nora, but she's actually Betsy Ross. All right, go.
My name is Betsy Ross. You want to tell about my life. I was born on January 1st, 1752 in Pennsylvania. During my life, I was an important seamstress. I sewed the first USA flag in 1777 during the Revolutionary War. I also worked for a sewing shop. I died on January 30th, 1836. I was created at Chicago. Thank you for your attention during my speech.
So I think they speak for themselves, but there was 23 of them. Just I'm a glowing teacher. I'm so proud of them, and they did amazing. So we'll talk. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so proud of you guys too. So like I said, I wish I could have brought all of them with us to show you, but so thank you for coming tonight. I know Dorothy had a softball game she skipped for this. So thank you, Dorothy, for making sure that happened. And thank you, Nora. The next, can you do the, so this was just, I put some pictures up there because the pictures and the smiles tell all the words. So there are some other wax museums up here. Our One School, One Book is something that our PSO really supported us at the building level. Our garden, we have a garden where we have classrooms. It goes with CKLA and their plants unit. Building that knowledge is what we're really doing. We have some phonics instruction with magnetic letters, but there really is a lot going on with BBHCS. So I just wanted to share the pictures with you and bring the people that are doing the work. Next, I would like to introduce Mrs. Hallie Holt. She wants to share a little bit of information about the awards that BBHCS just earned, the Purple Star Award.
Thank you. So this is our Purple Star Award. It actually originated from, as a BBH student, one of my most prideful moments was being able to bring my dad to school. It was fourth grade, the year I had my favorite teacher ever, Mrs. Toth. And counselor at the elementary school, I thought that would be such a fun event to kind of bring back. And so my dad told me about the Purple Star Award, which I find at the high school, is Purple Star School and school. So the first step was to do the training to become a military family liaison, do some professional development, identify our military connected students. So the whole point of the Purple Star is to support our military connected families. District 17 total, 6 at the elementary school and counting, because I know a few have recently joined our military. So first Veterans Day event this year, which was really awesome. Actually, it's a picture of my dad, his dad. They were in the same high school class together, but they're both veterans. So the kids got to come and bring veterans that they're related to, some to the kids are learning the SEL curriculum to the setting. So we teach all about, courage, respect, bravery, and to be able to things and see. It was a really cool event. And it was the first sort of large scale event we had at the new building. So some things, and we the Purple Star, you have it for 3 years. So within the next 3 years, we want to part of the Brooks American do some district-wide things and so excited to have this designation and grow it. Yes. Yeah.
And next, I would like to introduce Lauren Sostakowski and Kim Robotin to come up and talk a little bit about the Colony Cupboard that we are starting here at the elementary school. I know the high school was a huge partner in this as they had started it several years ago, and we felt that it was important that our elementary families also had the resources that they need. So I'm going to call you.
Hi, so we just wanted to go over like kind of what the Colony Cupboard is, how families can have access to it, and kind of why we wanted to get this up and running at the elementary building. So the primary focus of the Colony Cupboard is to provide the basic necessities to help enhance students' overall well-being, allowing them to feel comfortable, secure. And some of those items include school supplies, personal items, household pantry items, clothing items. Parents are able to access this by a confidential form. We have a link, a QR code that the families can scan, and that lists all of the different resources that we have. They're able to go in and select what they need at that time. And this will then show us, do they want to come in and pick it up or send it home with their child? And either one of us will go and gather the materials and let the families know when it's ready for pickup. It kind of inspired us to get a Colony Cupboard set up in our building. Was just right around winter time. There were some families reaching out about like winter coats, boots, gloves. And the high school was so generous to help give us some of their items to share out. But we wanted to be able to have access in our building to meet those needs immediately. So their partnership is what really inspired us to have that easy access, and it helped to highlight the growing needs as well in our elementary building.
And I just wanted to speak a little bit about our partnerships and how we've grown our supplies at the elementary school. So as Lauren said, first and foremost, Megan and Bridget at the high school have been real partners. We've been able to collaborate with them, which is really great. And to kick it off after winter break, I would say, we did a drive at the elementary school where our families were notified of what we were trying to do, and we did a socks, underwear, and sweatpants drive, and it was just overflowing. It was just amazing what we got. Broadview Heights Rec Center and Amanda Hutchison has been great. We talked to her and she said, what can I do? They've called us several times to pick up supplies. From there, North 41 Athletics did a May drive and called us to let us know it's overflowing and we need to pick it up there too. Creative Movement Centers is also a great partner of ours. They just finished up their showcase. So they're going to be getting their drive going. And then finally, our PSO, I see Melanie's here. We had a meeting and we talked to them. Lauren and I had an idea at the end of the, recently that at the end of the year, we'd like to do summer kits for some of our families in need. They said, how can we help? They got a Amazon wish list together, and then our office supply room was just overflowing with boxes within a week. So we had to take a flat cart up to Lauren's office with all the stuff. So yeah, it was great. So we're going to be able to do about 30 to 40 bags for families this summer, which have essentials, some snacks, and summer activities. So we're really, really happy about that. So a little bit about the Colony Cupboard.
Thank you.
And finally, last but never least, Morgan Colas is here to share a little bit about our Unified Sports Showcase as well as our Neurodiversity Month.
So in April of this year, we celebrated for the third time Neurodiversity Month at the elementary school. Neurodiversity Month is celebrated globally. It's a time to raise awareness and acceptance for people with autism, ADHD, dyslexia, anxiety, and otherwise neurodivergent minds. So at BBHES, we have a team of teachers who serve high support needs students, and we have organized resources for both students and staff. We try to send out daily emails, send videos, books, songs, things for the staff to share with students and help foster those conversations about neurodivergence. And then during that same month, we also work to build an art installation. So every student in the school gets to decorate. This year we did circles based on grade level. Everyone gets a different color. And then we are able to build an art installation in our school to sort of show all of the shades of neurodivergence in our school and to show that the spectrum is really large. So that was really cool. It's still up. That's a big favorite that we've done now 3 years in a row. And then we ended the month of April with our Unified Sports Showcase. So Unified Sports is a program sponsored by Special Olympics Ohio. It's a free program for districts in Ohio, and our district is one of the only districts in the state that has a program K through 12. At the elementary level, there are no competitions at the elementary level, so we decided to do what we call the showcase. So we display the skills that we're learning for parents and grandparents and caregivers. And this is our second annual event, and I know many of you attended, so thank you for that. Our 34 students this year among 5 classrooms got to participate, and we had high school volunteers as well. We have 8 stations set up, and the students rotate, and we show our parents and grandparents what we've been learning all year in the Unified Sports Program. The skills are really based around self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision-making. And before the event, we hold a breakfast for the families. So everyone got to join together, and it's just such an awesome time to look out and see all of our students with their families and our school support staff all together in the event. So we are looking forward to our 3rd year next year. We're projected to have about 40 students across the 5 classrooms, and it's our goal to include more peers in the program with the help of the PE teachers.
All right, so as you can imagine, we've been very busy this year. I could go on and on about all the other great things that we're doing, but we'll save that for another board meeting. As long as I don't have to follow Dr. Martin, that's was my stipulation.
The agenda tonight, but he usually finds a way on.
No. But we are extremely blessed to have such amazing staff, such amazing students, families, to make all of these types of events happen in our building. So again, we can't thank our community enough, our staff, our Board of Education, and all of our families for allowing us to do what we do every day. As Mr. Harrison always says, it's not normal. So I'm right there with him. So thank you. Do you have any questions?
I have a question, but I did just want to say, thank you for all you're doing. It's so amazing. I mean, are we in year 4 now of the element? Is this the end of year 4? It's so incredible to see, not that you just have like a great building where kids are learning, you're just everything you're doing to go above and beyond and to give the experience to our kids and our community and to just keep this building like every single year. It's just improving and getting better. And like, that's just a credit to you and the staff and everything you're doing to just, like, you're not satisfied just to have it be a great elementary school. You want it to be the very best. And I just love being in the building. It's an amazing building, and our community is so lucky to have this space and so lucky to have all of you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Ditto. Absolutely.
And to think about it, we were just talking about K1 too. I mean, there's 3, 4, 5 that has equal opportunities for our students. And I just want to take a quick moment to thank the staff that are here. Because it's the stuff that you see and the things that aren't normal are some of our staff, they don't have to go above and beyond, but so many of our staff go above and beyond without even being asked. It's just who they are, and that's what makes our district special. So just thank you. I know it's been a long day. I know you're here at a board meeting. You're not typically out this late at work. So thank you for being here. It's much appreciated.
Absolutely.
And as Colleen's predecessor, I have to say, you've just gone to the moon and farther, with all of the activities and just the integration of all the various disciplines in your activities, in your academics, is just marvelous. So congratulations to you.
It's them, not me.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you,
it
Colleen.
takes.
Appreciate So we have one more special presentation tonight. I'm going to ask Mr. Jacob to come up to the podium, please.
Good evening. I am very excited to be here tonight. We've heard some great things from our board member reports this evening. Obviously, all the great stuff taking place at the elementary school. But one of my favorite programs that we have at Brecksville Broadview Heights High School is our Student Visionary of the Year program, sponsored by Blood Cancer United, formerly the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. It's a fundraising competition amongst local high school students in which they compete to raise funds in the battle against blood cancer. And it is a very intense campaign, but one that I think has just such huge implications for students and their growth. And really, when we talk about the attributes of the B of being emotionally impaired, self-reliant, future ready, and globally responsible, it brings it all together in a very real world application. And our team this year was exceptional, to say the very least. And their coach, their representative from Blood Cancer United, Savannah Jurdek, is here to honor them with some awards and rewards for their great accomplishments this year. So I'll turn it over to Savannah at this time to recognize Maddie, Billy, and Alexa, who are the leaders of this year's team. So come on up, guys.
Okay, so like Mr. Jacobs said, I'm Savannah Durdek. I work for Blood Cancer United on the Student Visionaries of the Year campaign, which is all local high school students raising funds for blood cancer research, patient education and support, and policy and advocacy. And these three who I have right here are incredible. I could say a million wonderful things about them, but just in a nutshell, they stepped up to the plate, they set a goal, and they crushed it every step of the way. They initially set a goal to raise $75,000 for our mission. Within 2 weeks, I think they had crushed that goal, raised it to 100, and then quickly after that, set on the path to raise $150,000, which they did. They came in our third place position amongst 39 teams within the Cleveland area, broke a record for Brecksville Broadview Heights as a high school for this program, and are coming with me to New York City in the fall to hear from researchers who are doing real work in this space, so they can learn more about blood cancer research and what we're doing to hopefully cure it. So just a huge round of applause for these guys. I have some awards over there for them. So one of the things I'm honoring them with tonight is our second runner-up award, which they got at our grand finale event on March 14th, but these ones are engraved and fancy for them to take home. And then another that they're being honored with tonight is our Impact Award, which is given to teams who raise $100,000 or more, and they will have the opportunity to link their campaign name with one of our mission portfolios and potentially have a research project named after Team Horizon. So just a round of applause for Billy Henry, Madison Nikita, and Alexa Zetz for their amazing work in their campaign.
truly awesome work. And I know Mr. Yanaglas and I had an opportunity to interview them on the podcast. And each year, this is such a great project that happens to the high school, but it also allows us an opportunity to kind of get to see the everyday work that happens with our students. They are simply amazing. Like when anybody talks poorly, or I think every generation talks poorly about the generation after them, but when you get to interact with individuals like these three, we are in great hands. We are in great hands, and we are very lucky with the students that we have. So congratulations to your guys' hard work, and thank you for representing BBH so well.
Yes.
Awesome. Yep, no good. Thank you, guys. As we usually say at this part of the meeting, if you happen to slide out the side door, we won't take any offense. We know that there's lots of things going on as we go through the rest of the agenda. There's a lot of exciting stuff, but we also know there's exciting stuff happening at home.
Yeah, congratulations. Okay.
It was really Jeff that did that.
Was he?
Sent them all away.
I'm good.
All right, moving on to item 5, treasurer communications. I'll turn it over to Craig.
Yes, yes, yes. I know. Jeff clears the room for me every time. Thanks. So I will keep this short, especially because we are going to be having a special board meeting on June 1st to kind of specifically hone in on finances. But you will see here some of the totals of where we are right now. These are the latest updated numbers. Our projected receipts are at 58.8 million, expenditures at 58.5 million. Right now, we have a possible increase of 400,000. Again, some of those have been some one-time exceptions to our revenues this year. True days of cash at the end of April would be 122 days, which is still about the same as where we are with the forecast and what was presented in February. Again, our monthly cash flows that are, let me see if I can minimize this a little bit. There we go. The red line is our actual total cash balance, and then you've got expenditures and receipts. You can see those big peaks, of course, which is where we get the majority and the bulk of our revenues that come in from tax revenues. You see a really large spike in March as we talked about the delay of the advances and the lack thereof apparently for next year. So if they don't do the advances next year, this March one's going to be even higher than what it currently looks like. And then we have this is again towards the end, this is the month of April that we finished up. So it's a strong year overall. Again, right now on the positive side for our revenues, we're up 800,000 over what we were. So a lot of that again is the almost $600,000 payment from the county auditor's office for the reappraisal. And then the rest of it, most of that is actually an investment and interest income. Because we still have been doing pretty well as the Fed has held the interest rates pretty steady, especially given right now our inflationary pressures, which have now hit 3.8%, which is now increasing again. So I don't know what's going to happen at the Fed level, but there is some talks that they're obviously going to hold and that they may have to actually increase rates again to pull inflation down. But we'll see because we have a new Fed chair officially as of this week, actually. We also see an increase too, for homestead rollback because that money hit actually in April this year. Last year it hit in May. That one always kind of fluctuates year to year. Expenditures are also modestly over the forecast. So while we were up 800,000 revenues, we are sitting right now at approximately $258,000 over on the expenditure side of where we would be. So a lot of this is basically right now is salaries are about $136,000 year over year increase. Employee benefits were slightly lower by 18,000, partially offsetting that salary increase. And purchase services and supplies, again, we've talked about purchase services. They are exploding this year. They have been increasing year over year, to be honest, but that is an area that we are seeing the largest growth in right now is actually purchase services by a percentage of the budget. Fiscal year to date summary outlook is showing to you here, which is again, just kind of wraps up everything to the true days cash of 122 days. So this is all good. And these are the same reports that I normally do include, so you can see the month to month and where we're projecting. Of course, right now we're just projecting May and June. So we're getting towards the end of wrapping up the month of May already, and things are still tracking accordingly. One of the other outlying things we have is we submitted for a catastrophic cost or a threshold cost. We will see what that number comes back with this year. That is a reimbursement from the state for some of our catastrophic claims that we have in terms of special ed students and populations, some of them costing over $160,000 a year to educate and transport. So last year traditionally we've received about 400,000. Last year we did receive around 600,000 as our costs have continued to increase. However, the problem is right now is that they have actually, I think it's the same or they almost decreased slightly the pool of money that this comes from. And every school is now filing for these. And so once the pool is reached, it essentially means you're going to get a smaller share of the pot. So we don't expect to see a $600,000. We forecasted $400,000. It hopefully is that or above. It could also be below as well, what we projected. So that's one of the bigger items that's coming in over the next couple of weeks, actually. It should be here. And that's, I believe, all I have. Question?
How do we arrive at that number for the catastrophic reimbursement? Are we just looking at the exact expenses and then we submit that and see if we get a percentage back?
Correct. Yeah. So every category has different thresholds. So we submit all of the costs. So sometimes that's a one-on-one aid, it's nursing services, it's all the extra related services that go into the cost of that student, including transportation. Some of them are outplaced. Those are usually our most expensive ones with outplacements plus transportation. So we submit all of that, bless you. We submit all of that to the state in a large aggregate number of over $2 million. And then we get a percentage of that back. So I forget do you remember what last year's was? I forget. It's like 40% maybe or 30%. And they're expecting it to be less this year. So
does the state carve out a specific fund that they?
Yeah, I think it's last I remember it was $90 million for all public schools. And probably, I guess, charter schools too, maybe, but $90 million is the total pot.
And how does the pool work? All schools submit their reimbursements and then everyone gets like a piece of it, or?
Yeah, everyone gets a piece of it. It's not, you don't get more if you submit early or anything like that. So it's all based on a percentage of what they can cover based on the total amount that's been submitted. But obviously, if we have more claims, and that's why Cassie's department does a great job, is that and Sarah specifically, Sarah tracks every dollar that we spend. And so if you don't track your dollars well and you don't submit for all you can submit for, then you're obviously leaving money on the table. So this is an area I think we've also improved upon, because when Sarah got here, she really didn't know because she was new. And so every year it's been just getting better and better. And now our area coordinator, Jack Naris, always says, Sarah is his best person out of all the schools. He's like, she knows what she's doing and she always submits her stuff on time and it's always right. So that's all I have. Cash position and spending reports are there for your review.
Okay, moving on to item 6, community communications, hearing of the public. Is there anyone in the room that wishes to be heard this evening? No? Okay, then we're going to move on. Item 7, consent agenda. Item 7A. Resolve to approve certified personnel recommendations. 7B, resolve to approve classified personnel recommendations. 7C, resolve to approve supplemental personnel recommendations. Item 7D, resolve to approve the check register and bank reconciliation as attached. Item 7E, resolve to accept donations as presented. Item 7F, resolve to approve the minutes from the April 22nd, 2026 regular board meeting as attached. Item 7G, resolve to approve consent items 7A through 7F. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Well, there's quite a bit on these too. On the certified and classified spreadsheets, you'll see it's contract season, as we call it. So many of our employees, as they're working their way through that process of working towards a continuing contract, you'll see those renewal of contracts. There are a handful of educators across our district that have applied for and successfully completed obtaining their continuing contract, which is also listed on here. And then also we have some new hires, and we have some new hires in the room this evening too. So if it's okay with the board, I'll introduce a couple of our admin to welcome our new bees to the team. So I guess maybe we'll start, Mr. Magyar, since you're closest to me, you get to go first.
My head in the way?
No, you're good.
Okay, 'cause I'm so tall. All right. Yeah, I can't, yeah, next week this time will be a mohawk. Yeah, so be fun. I have two people I'm gonna talk about today. First, we do have Kayla here, and we are super excited to have Kayla on board. She has a great experience from Willoughby East Lake City Schools, and we absolutely love getting to know her during the interview process. Her references at Willoughby, they were sad to hear from us because she's irreplaceable, is what they said. Kayla is taking on one of our classrooms for students with high support needs, and she is a perfect fit. So during when we reserved her lesson, she showed incredible ability to adapt and respond to students right in the moment. But her gift for building connections was super clear. In fact, there was two students, so she did her lesson. Kids were engaged, but as soon as she was done, two students came up to her and gave her a big hug. Like she's been teaching there the whole time, all year. And that right there said a lot right away with us, because that doesn't always happen when we go through this interview process. So we were super impressed by how prepared she was with her materials and visuals, but even more so by her genuine respect and warmth, the way she spoke to the students and about the students. We saw that resonate right away. We are super excited to have her part of the team. And I just want to say, welcome aboard, welcome being a bee. The other individual, she's a long-term sub currently for fourth grade. It's Reagan Monahan. She's not here tonight because she's coaching one of our youth teams for softball for Brecksville. So that's where she's at tonight. And I said, no, you got to be there. The kids love you. They enjoy it, and she's volunteering. But Reagan, last year we had a long-term position for fourth grade, and we interviewed candidates, and she came across as just this super genuine, caring, and her big focus is about, building those relationships, and everything goes in hand when you do that. So I'm calling her references. I'm like, is this person for real? And they're like, yes, you'll love working with her. And she has delivered. She is one of those people, the way she talks, her calmness, her genuineness. She's just so caring about the students, and the students love her back. You see it, and you notice it once you walk into the classroom. Her students learned a ton this year. The growth, it's just amazing. We were just so proud of her. So it was a no-brainer that we wanted to continue being part of the team of the fourth grade team. She's just a wonderful addition this year, and super excited to have her continue with us. So I know Reagan says she'll watch this. I said, I'm gonna say some nice things about you. So, but we can't wait to see her even grow more next year. So that's Reagan Monahan.
Thank you, Mr. Magyar. Mrs. Spangler, I think you're next up.
Welcome. So I get to introduce Holly Powers. Holly didn't just go through a series of interviews, she interviewed with us every day. So we were blessed to have her as a school psych intern from Kent. Immediately when she came, we were blown away, and each day from there, she continued to amaze us. I think one of the biggest highlights of going through, sometimes as a school psych, you have to deliver difficult information at times, and you also have to do it in a parent-friendly way. And no matter how she decided she was going to present that information or be able to go through, it was always with a kind heart. It continues to be that way, and in a way that parents can understand some complex information too. I think every person that sits around her table is blown away with her kindness. A lot of the school psychs, even especially as we're going down the end of the year, they're like, wait a second, who's an intern here, right? So she also brings a plethora of knowledge, especially even as we've been talking through internal monitoring team and making changes. She's a rock star, and we're lucky to have her.
Awesome. Thank you. Not quite official yet. We have a few more things to go through before we seal the deal. On the classified side, again, it is contract season, so you'll see many renewals of contracts. We're also going to see some assistants in and out of the classroom, both in food service and transportation department. One contract revision on here, and I think that is about it. On the supplemental side, the last one here, it's pretty thin list. Assistant football coach and then also a volunteer for the football team. So I'm sure Coach Schreiber is busily applying or putting his staff together for the fall.
Check register shall be not read this evening. Donations, we only had one this month, which is $300 for the volleyball team, cash donation. And then minutes. Any questions?
Questions or comments? Roll call.
Mr. Chase,
Yes.
Mrs. Gaelic,
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski,
Yes.
Ms. O'Meara,
Yes.
Mr. Dosen.
Yes, item passes 5-0.
Well,
Item,
Congratulations.
yes,
congratulations.
You're welcome to stay or you're welcome to not stay. We don't take offense. Have a good evening. Item 8, superintendent recommendations. Item 8A, resolve to approve the summer classified personnel recommendations. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Just some summer staffing items that we needed to take care of and much help that is needed throughout the summer. A lot of work is being done. Also special ed assistance as well for ESY.
Comments or questions? Roll call.
Mr. Chase,
Yes.
Mrs. Gaelic,
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski,
Abstain.
Ms. O'Meara,
Yes.
Mr. Dosen.
Yes, item passes 4-0. Item 8B, resolve to adopt the new revised board policies as attached. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We've been talking about these for some time, so just this finally is a final read for update to our policies.
Comments or questions? Roll call.
Mr. Chase,
Yes.
Mrs. Gaelic,
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski,
Yes.
Ms. O'Meara,
Yes.
Mr. Dosen.
Yes. Item passes 5-0. Item 8C, resolve to approve the international exchange student for the 2026-2027 school year. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
It's a great opportunity, not only for the student coming to us, but also for our students to get to interact with this international student. And thank you to the family in town that's hosting this experience.
Comments or questions?
This family had a student last year too, right?
Mhm.
It's great that they
Yep.
seemed like they had a good experience then.
Roll call.
Mr. Chase,
Yes.
Mrs. Gaelic,
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski,
Yes.
Ms. O'Meara,
Yes.
Mr. Dosen.
Yes, item passes 5-0. Item 8D, resolve to approve non-resident tuition paying student for the 2026-2027 school year. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Awesome. This is a family that has reached out. They're currently actively searching for a home within our district, and they do not want to take the chance of not closing on a home before the start of the school year. As you can see, the student will be starting 9th grade, critical transition year. So they will be paying tuition up until they find a home within the district.
Comments or questions?
I'm just confused. This is not typical. Is it something that we
have
do?
maybe one, maybe two a year. We had one last year for a student who's actually graduating on Saturday, who came for his senior year, and family chose to pay tuition to go here. Since we don't have open enrollment, the only way a student from outside our communities could attend here is through a tuition-based program. That tuition is set by the state. We do not set that, and it
Okay.
typically falls between $13,500 and $14,000 a year. So this family, for example, could pay up to $14,000 for their daughter to attend next year. So it is permissible by the state of Ohio.
It just requires your approval.
Well, in this, I've always put it on as a superintendent's recommendation for board approval.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I mean,
That's a
you have-
superintendent's agreement. That's
Yeah.
different.
No, I know
Oh.
there's a superintendent.
Okay.
I'm just wondering if there was.
Yeah.
If somebody else wanted to attend our district and pay the tuition, it's based on circumstances, not just that they can.
Well, number one, it's based on space.
As,
So, if I had a fourth grader or a fifth grader right now, I would say no. I would not bring it for approval because we're at 280, 288. There's not enough space. Ninth grade, high school, middle school, we usually typically have plenty of space. So we don't incur any extra cost and or make class size larger than it needs to be. So if that was the case, I wouldn't even bring it forward for board approval. I would tell them the inn is full.
I guess it's your discretion though, on
Mhm.
whether to accept it, space being one of the criteria.
Yes. Yep.
Any other comments or questions?
no, you guys asked them all. That was gonna.
I appreciate these families that are truthful and come forward with it because this is not the typical situation we deal with. And when I say we, Leslie Lobby, who's our registrar, and I would just tell you that many phone calls and emails we get are not necessarily truthful as to where they're living, and we have to do quite a bit of research. So when a family comes forward and actually explains their situation and what they're doing, I give them much credit.
This is not something that we advertise. This is not a family, when a family reaches out, we
Yep.
have space.
Yeah, we don't run ads, we don't recruit.
Right.
These families usually come to us knowing that this option's available through the state because the state posts on their website what the tuition is for every school district in Ohio. So. Yeah, when districts don't have open enrollment, this is usually the other route that someone would take to become a student within the district.
The tuition that is set by the state, is that a universal high school student gets this much, or is it per district?
No,
Different by district.
Yeah.
Do they calculate it for each district? Is that based on financials that we submit? or-
Well, it's interesting because as you're saying that with the numbers, which I mean, I agree with the numbers, but that he's quoting, it's weird because it doesn't match what our per pupil expenditure is. So it's a little bit less, but I don't know where that number comes from, to be quite honest, but they'll post a spreadsheet for every district in the state of what the tuition would be.
All right, any other comments or questions? Roll call.
Mr. Chase,
Yes.
Mrs. Gaelic,
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski,
Yes.
Ms. O'Meara,
Yes.
Mr. Dosen.
Yes, item passes 5-0. Item 8E, resolve to approve the resolution declaring transportation impractical for the 2025-2026 school year as attached. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
As we see from time to time, these come through. It's just some of our students who live within our district who are attending school outside of our district. And I know we've talked about it many times about a certain state timing that did not go in our favor early in the year to a parochial school on the west side of Cleveland. We missed it by like 30 seconds. Well, we've recently had another state timing of another school on the east side of Cleveland, and it was about 45 seconds in our favor. So we do not have to transport to that school.
Comments or questions? Roll call.
Mr. Chase,
Yes.
Mrs. Gaelic,
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski.
Yes.
Ms. O'Meara,
Yes.
Mr. Dosen.
Yes, item passes 5-0. Item 8F, resolve to approve the 2026-2027 Total Education Solutions Agreement as attached. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
That time of year where we're renewing many of our agreements for some students that are outplaced.
Comments or questions? Roll call.
Mr. Chase,
Yes.
Mrs. Gaelic,
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski,
Yes.
Ms. O'Meara,
Yes.
Mr. Dosen.
Yes, item passes 5-0. Item 8G, resolve to approve the 2026-2027 Suburban School Transportation Agreement as attached. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
A longtime partner of the district to help transport many of our special needs students.
Comments or questions? Roll call.
Mr. Chase,
Yes.
Mrs. Gaelic,
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski.
Yes.
Ms. O'Meara,
Yes.
Mr. Dosen.
Yes, item passes 5-0. Item 8H, resolve to approve the 2026-2027 STEPS Educational Group Service Agreements as attached. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Again, agreements for students who are outplaced.
Comments or questions? Roll call.
Mr. Chase,
Yes.
Mrs. Gaelic,
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski,
Yes.
Ms. O'Meara,
Yes.
Mr. Dosen.
Yes, item passes 5-0. Item 8I, resolve to approve the 2026-2027 ESC NEO service agreement as attached. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Again, just additional resources for our students.
Comments or questions? Roll call.
Mr. Chase,
Yes.
Mrs. Gaelic,
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski,
Yes.
Ms. O'Mara,
Yes.
Mr. Dosen.
Yes, item passes 5-0. Item 9, treasurer's recommendations. Item 9A, resolve to approve the student fees for the 2026-2027 school year as attached. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
There are no increases that are on the attached spreadsheet that they're the same as this year.
Comments or questions?
Can you talk about like, how do you determine when it's time to increase? Because I know we didn't increase last year, and I think with the year before, this has kind of been the same. This is the third year with the same fees.
Yeah, so I think that we've kind of stabilized where we were with the music instrument rental, which has been good. Because those were really underfunded and now they're kind of on par with the repairs and the new equipment cycles. And then when it comes to the student fees, especially with the new budgeting tool that the principals are using, all of them have excess money in them. And I don't, like when I got here, like the high school, for instance, had like $300,000 in there, which we should not have, because that's money that we're basically collecting and not spending. So we're monitoring that. So they have the flexibility if they overspend every so often, but 90% of the time they're not overspending out of what they have. And we're already reducing the amount from free and reduced lunch kiddos that are on waivers. So if we start to deficit spend and it becomes a problem, that's kind of at this point, I think how we're gonna triage it or decide whether we need to increase or not. But so far they've been doing a good job with what they have. The elementary school is probably the closest or the tightest in terms of they get like $85,000 in and they spend $85,000 out. So, yeah. So that's about it.
Any other comments or questions? Roll call.
Mr. Chase,
Yes.
Mrs. Gaelic,
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski,
Yes.
Ms. O'Mara,
Yes.
Mr. Dosen.
Yes, item passes 5-0. Item 9B, resolve to approve the Always Construction LLC contract for the 2026 pavement improvements project as attached. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Are there any questions?
The pavement improvements, you know, what specifically are they doing this summer?
So this would be the S curve from what the middle school area up to the high school. And
Stadium up the S curve of the high school. The parent middle school drop off where the potholes are up until the lot. And then the main entrance of the middle school up until we finish paving last year.
so relatively smaller project this summer.
Right.
For the total other projects we have going on.
Whole lot of other asphalt going down, just not part of this.
Right.
Comments or,
Just the mill and pit. Upkeep.
okay.
Yeah.
Comments or questions? Roll call.
Mr. Chase,
Yes.
Mrs. Gaelic,
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski,
Yes.
Ms. O'Mara,
Yes.
Mr. Dosen.
Yes, item passes 5-0. Item 10, closing announcements. Item 10A, the next regular meeting of the Board of Education is scheduled for June 24th, 2026 at 6 p.m. Item 10D, resolve to adjourn the meeting. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Chase,
Yes.
Mrs. Gaelic,
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski,
Yes.
Ms. O'Mara,
Yes.
Mr. Dosen.
Yes. Meeting is adjourned. Have a great evening, everyone.
You.